Say that you a baller. You lame, can't play this game. Step up to the plate, cause you say that you a baller. At the top, this is how I rock.
Welcome on into the Rebound. Courtney Cox here with Darren Hartwell. Another week, a pretty slow week for us because Celtics not in town, have been gone since Monday. We were working on our British accents before we started the show.
I thought you had a pretty good one.
You do?
Hey, it was all right.
It's like, cheerio. Courtney Cox here with Darren Hartwell.
Yeah.
Time to talk about the Celtics in London.
We could easily both pass as British reporters, our names.
Yeah.
Courtney Cox, Darren
Where are you?
Hartwell.
What's your background?
I do have some English blood. I think I'm about 50% English.
Nice.
So I don't know why I'm not in London right now, to be honest. So.
At Fred Nutter. Neither do I.
Yeah, so... but here we are. Someone's got to hold down the fort back in Boston. So that's
absolutely.
What we'll do.
But it looks like they're having a great time.
Yep.
We got to see kind of a behind-the-scene look. If you follow, Amanda Pflugrad, the Celtics reporter, she showed us the plane. The plane looked awesome. It had the Celtics emblem on every seat. It had a nice travel bag.
Yeah.
But we talked about our accents. Let's show you what the actual Celtics players did with their own version of British accents.
Hey, Celtics fan.
Hey, Celtics fans.
Hello, mates.
Hello, Celtics fans. I will see you in London.
Make sure to watch us at O2 Arena. Make sure to watch us at O2 Arena.
Make sure you watch us at the O2 Arena.
January 11th, 2018.
The Queen will be there, will you?
It's game time here in London. Yeah, no.
It's game time here in London.
We'll see you in London.
Hey, Celtics fans. We'll see you in London.
Pretty nice.
Bane's coming in at the end and
I
crushing
mean,
it.
But he had an advantage there. I
That's
do
true.
think Gordon Hayward had a very good British accent.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's not.
Not so much Al Horford. Not
No.
really sure what he was trying to do there or what he was going for.
Right.
But that's tough. Terry Rozier, I think, was another standout to me. Thought he had a pretty solid accent.
Yeah.
But another no-go was Yabusele.
Yeah, not good. Didn't even sound like he changed his voice at
Kind
all.
of sounded like a robot. A
Right,
little bit.
yeah. But we saw them come in very late on Monday night. Abby Chin did a periscope of all of them coming in, and I thought it was cool. Unlike other road trips where you just see the players, you saw a lot of their families too. I don't know if you watched it, but a lot of the wives coming in. Exciting time right now for Al Horford and his wife. We'll talk about that later. But very cool to see them. They looked very tired, but they did come in. They practiced Tuesday. They're on a 6-game win streak right now, but a good week of kind of rest. Can you call it that though? They're kind of all screwed up with the sleep schedule and.
Yeah, it is interesting how, if you look at the schedule and they have all these days off, but they're traveling across the world and the time zone is going forward, so you're essentially losing 5 hours when you fly there. It's like a super West Coast trip, going from west to east. But so yeah, it's definitely draining. But I think having those days to kind of get acclimated, and I think it's just a cool experience.
Right.
So when you're doing that, it doesn't feel so much like a drag. Like, oh, I'm traveling to, the West Coast, or you're going to London, you're in a different country. I think it's cool for players.
Yeah, and I think that they've been having fun with them, as much fun as they possibly can.
It's a bonding experience.
Yeah, but they play Philly on Thursday. An exciting matchup there. They have already played Philly. They beat them. What do you see out of this team coming in, Philly, on the side of Philly, and do you think that the Celtics should be worried about this, trust the process situation?
Yeah, I think Philly's an interesting team. They've obviously struggled a little bit. They came out hot and have kind of been up and down. It all kind of depends on Joel Embiid's health there, but Ben Simmons has been playing great. So I think if London fans want to look at something, it's Ben Simmons versus Jason Tatum. That's kind of a Rookie of the Year matchup right there. Two of the front runners. So I think it should be an exciting game. Looking at it on paper, the Celtics should win. They're on a 6-game winning streak. Best record in the Eastern Conference right now. They're actually 3 games ahead of, I think it's the Raptors, who are in second place. So on paper, the Celtics are the better team. They're riding high. So we'll see if it'll be interesting to see what this stretch does for them morale-wise and kind of resetting the season at almost the halfway point.
Yeah, crazy that it's almost at the halfway point. But we can't talk about the Celtics and not talk about a guy that's not even playing, Gordon Hayward.
Yep.
I feel like every week it's the same question, will he be back? Honestly, why do we keep asking? It's not like the Celtics are struggling. in the least bit right now. So yes, I understand Gordon Hayward, a great player, will be a great benefit for the Celtics team. But do we need him this season? Let's think long term. And Danny Ainge had the media talking once again because he tweeted out a picture of Gordon. And
Yep.
I think the guy.
It's a swimming pool.
Yes, but the guy, he says that Gordon Hayward's the coach, but the guy he's coaching, he's on staff for the Celtics.
Yeah, I believe so. He's not an actual.
Very funny saying like, no muscle there. But Gordon Hayward not wearing a brace, we've seen this before. He doesn't need to wear the brace 24/7.
Yeah.
Let's just drop it.
Well, in this one, I think it was people kind of got excited because he wasn't wearing anything at all. Not even like a sock or anything. You usually don't see Gordon Hayward's bare feet. It's something that people are interested in. I think just anytime you see him like kind of walking around without the ankle brace, that's going to be something that people talk about. And I think the situation kind of is, they're playing really well, so that means, hey, maybe they have a shot at going all the way. Maybe they have a shot at recent Eastern Conference Finals or beyond. And then so people start to take the next step and say, oh, what if we had Gordon Hayward to add on to that? That can make them even better. So I think that's where all the speculation kind of comes in. But yeah, I think we're not really going to know what his situation is or whether he's coming back until the final home stretch, kind of a last-minute deal.
Yeah, and Brad Stevens did address it and say, timetable has not changed. No change in our expectations, which is not surprising. So
Status quo.
Yeah. All right, so from the current Celtics team to a former Celtics player, Isaiah Thomas came back into the lineup for the Cavaliers 3 games in, and he caused a little bit of a stir, a big stir actually. When I saw this video, it kind of...
Like that.
I was... you can't do that. But he got taken out of the game in the third quarter. When you watched this play, because Coach Lou said, I didn't think that he should have been taken out of the game. I did.
Yeah, well, it was a tricky play so it was a nice little clothesline on Andrew Wiggins, basically like right under his jaw.
Like at the Adam's apple.
Yeah,
I'm not a guy, but I would assume that would hurt.
Yeah, if you look at it out of context just quickly, it's like he was like swinging at his head. That's what it kind of looks like. And I guess if you go back and look at the replay a little bit, he basically, if his arm slot was like, a few inches lower, he would have gotten the ball. So it looks like he was kind of swiping for the ball and just missed pretty badly. So again, who knows exactly what, after the game, he's, obviously said, I didn't mean to do that. But, I think it wasn't necessarily like coming from a bad place. I don't think he was trying to like knock him out or anything, but it definitely looked bad. And I think for that, you kind of have to eject him or give him a flagrant 2, because things can get out of control if that doesn't happen.
Well, and like you said, he did say, I apologize right away because I didn't mean to do that. I'm just glad he's all right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, very Isaiah Thomas-esque for him to apologize right away. If you've ever been around that guy, you know that he's not out trying to hurt somebody.
Yeah.
But looking at it,
he's also a chippy player, though.
Correct. Looking at it and watching it in slow-mo, not a good look.
He's a little guy. He has to, stand his ground. So,
Right.
That's third game back. That's not a controversy you want to get into, especially considering the Cavs got blown out in that game.
Right. And it's their defensive struggles that are kind of plaguing this unbelievably talented team.
Yeah, I think, and that those defensive struggles aren't going to go away with Thomas back in the lineup. I think that's something you have to address. He's just the liability just basically because of his height, just because he's a matchup problem for whoever he's guarding. They're gonna go right to him. I think the Cavs are going to have to find a way to adjust. They've given up 127 points in 2 straight games now. But I think they'll work it out. It could mean LeBron James, more pressure on him to kind of help out. It's going to be a lot of help defense. Celtics fans saw that with, last season, what the Celtics did in helping out Isaiah. They had a lot of good defenders, Avery Bradley, Marcus Smart, who helped him out. So Jay Crowder might be helping Isaiah out too. He's done that before in Boston. So I think, ultimately, you take the trade-off just because of how good he is offensively. But it's going to be interesting to see how they do it.
Missing Kyrie Irving in that regard.
Yes, that is true.
But one man's trash, another man's treasure. And we see that working out pretty well in Boston. All right, let's move on. NBA coaches against LeVar Ball. We already know that the Lakers have met with LeVar to say, tone it down. He hasn't done that. But now coaches are kind of taking a stand. Detroit Pistons coach Stan Van Gundy said that he's basically boycotting ESPN for an upcoming game. He said he's not going to do, the meetings pregame, or not even pregame, during practice with the ESPN crew. He's not going to do in-game interview. He's not going to do post-game. He doesn't like how ESPN has kind of given a platform to LeVar to kind of speak out against Coach Walton and the Lakers, front office, which, it's nice to see coaches standing up for each other, but that is a blow for ESPN. Anybody knows if you're at a game, you need all the access you can get, and if you're not getting that, why are you even there?
Right, and I think, it's kind of it's a tricky thing because, you have, I think, if you look at what Stan Van Gundy said, he says, I don't have a problem with LeVar Ball. He's a grown man. He can voice whatever opinion he wants. I got a problem with ESPN deciding it's a story. So, I respect that opinion, but at the same time, LeVar Ball can say whatever he wants, and if that's what is, what is generating, controversy or what's generating the story, then ESPN's going to report it.
You have to remember that that's their job as well.
Right. So there are two sides of this.
Right.
I get the NBA coaches not wanting that whole situation. It's basically like a player's dad, so there's no real significance to him in the NBA landscape. It's not like it's an owner or a GM or anything like that. But it's not the media's job also to protect, protect the coaches from criticism, from outside criticism. If people can say whatever they want, and they could just dismiss LeVar Ball's comments if they want to.
And let's be honest, everybody's always saying, can we give it a break? I don't want to hear about LeVar. I don't want to hear about the Ball family. We see numbers. They get clicks.
That's what it is.
The Ball
That's
family has people talking all the time. If you are smart, if you are any type of media outlet, you are going to want to talk about the Ball family in any capacity. So, you can't fault ESPN for doing it. But he's not the only coach that's taking a stand either. Rick Carlisle said something. Steve Kerr did a little bit, but he said, he's the Kardashian of the NBA.
Yeah.
So kind of more playful. But then even some coaches are asking their media handlers, how would you...
Yeah, the media relations staff.
Yeah, saying that he doesn't want reporters getting credentialed if they want to interview LeVar.
Yeah. No, this could come to a head. You already saw with the Lakers, they have the LeVar Ball rule where reporters can't interview him in Staples Center in that area where family goes. I think there is maybe a line to be drawn with that, like reporters talking to families of players. Usually you don't see that allowed anyways in other arenas. Most of them aren't LeVar Ball, but that kind of is families should have their own kind of privacy, I guess you could say. But LeVar Ball is he's not a private guy. He's a public figure, and he's opened himself up to all the criticism, and has no problem voicing his opinion. So I think there's going to need to be maybe a mandate or a decision made. The NBA might have to work something out and say, all right, maybe a compromise between the two sides, but something's going to have to happen.
It's also crazy. This isn't NBA news by any means, but Lithuania is having a lot of eyes on them.
Exactly.
I clicked on Facebook Live to watch that game. It was a pretty entertaining game as well.
It's
very
like
entertaining
views.
with the big baller brand referee jerseys and in the center court. But it's crazy. It was over 100,000 views at one time, which is an astounding number, especially for Lithuania.
Yeah.
Also, did you see the Ball jerseys?
Yep.
It's like $2,500 for a jersey.
Yeah.
Somebody tweeted at me though when I tweeted it and said free shipping though. If you're spending that much money on a Ball jersey from Lithuania, you've got a lot of money to blow.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of the novelty of it all. It's just all so ridiculous and absurd that you kind of just want to see how it unfolds.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to do this thing called Contenders and Pretenders. This is when we're going to talk a little bit about different teams. If they're playing really well, are they actual contenders, or are they just kind of pretending right now? Is fate giving them a little bit of a pass at the moment, if you will?
These are all going to be totally accurate and
Correct.
stand by
Yeah,
this. 100%,
we'll talk to you at the end of the season, and you can say we we read the future.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the Raptors. Like we said, they are second in the Eastern Conference, right behind the Celtics. 3 games behind them. Are they contenders or are they pretenders?
I think the Raptors are for real. I think, I don't know if they're necessarily, Eastern Conference Finals potential, but I think they're going to stay 2 seed, 3 seed. I think they're going to be battling the Cavs for that spot and maybe even pushing the Celtics. I think DeMar DeRozan's been the big key. He's been having best season of his career, and they also have the best home record in the NBA. They're best home record in the Eastern Conference at 14-2 right now. So they're winning the games they're supposed to, and DeRozan keeps playing well. They have a strong supporting cast. Obviously, Kyle Lowry in there too. I think they're the real deal.
All right, let's move along. Timberwolves. We saw them in Boston on Friday.
Yeah.
It was a boring game.
Yeah. That got a lot.
I usually get really into it. I was watching that game and I was like, this thing is kind of brutal.
Yeah. So yeah, they have been playing really well. Also, 9 of the last 12. But I'm gonna go with pretenders.
Yeah.
I think that they're still going to be a very good regular season team. I think they can, they haven't made the playoffs in such a long period of time. I think they'll be in maybe that 4 or 5 seed. But if you go to the playoffs, I just worry a little bit about their inexperience. You have guys like Andrew Wiggins, Karl Anthony Towns. They've, young guys who haven't seen the postseason yet. Jimmy Butler, obviously a veteran guy, but, he hasn't had much success winning playoff series. So I think, they're going to be good down the road, but I think this season right now, they're not ready to take that next step.
They're building.
They're building.
All right, let's
There's
move
nothing
on.
wrong with that.
The Thunder.
Yeah, the Thunder, I'm going to go with contenders. I think, they've been up and down, but I think they're kind of the foil of the Wolves, I guess you could say. Maybe they have their struggles in the regular season, but when the postseason comes, Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Carmelo Anthony, that's kind of the formula for success in the NBA. Stars who can, get
show
buckets.
Up.
Yep, show up and step up. So I think you could see a Timberwolves Thunder first round series. And then if the Thunder can win that one, then they play the Warriors. I think the Warriors are heavy favorites in that. But it'd be interesting to see what Westbrook could do maybe with 2 all-star sidekicks at his side. I like that. I like that matchup.
And you can't have Thunder without Heat.
Oh, nice.
But I disagree with you on what you think about this one. Just because the Heat did end that win streak for the Celtics, they're kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde team.
Yeah.
Playing well right now. I'm a little bit nervous about them.
Yeah. So you think they're contenders possibly. I think they're pretenders. Just for me, I think they remind me a little bit of the Celtics from like 2 seasons ago. They not
because
just
of Kelly Olynyk that we're seeing a full montage of right now.
So they're very very balanced. I think they have like 6 or 7 players in double figures. They're well coached. Eric Spoelstra's doing a good job with them. They play hard. They don't really have that go-to guy. Goran Dragic is good. Hassan Whiteside is good. Deion Waiters. They don't have that kind of next level guy, and that worked out well for the Celtics. They played hard. Isaiah Thomas was still on the rise a little bit, and they got to the postseason, but they just couldn't match up with any other team. So I think the Heat, the fourth in the East, like pushing the envelope a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think they could get there maybe, but I don't know about even winning a first round. Maybe they win a first round series against a middle of the road East team, but if they're taking on a team like the Celtics, the Cavs, or the Raptors, maybe they push into 7 games, but I just don't see them taking that next step without, unless they make a move at the trade deadline.
All right, we'll see about that. All right, we're going to do some winners and losers on social media. This week, I will start with the winner of the week. Big congratulations are in order for Al Horford and his wife. Miss Universe,
yes.
Amelia Vega, they are expecting baby number 3. So cute, a beautiful family. Who does not want to be a part of that family? I would love for them to adopt me. Just kidding, Mom and Dad, who listen to this all the time. You guys are great. But how cute are they?
Oh, that's great. I think sorpresa, is that surprise in Spanish?
Yes.
My Spanish is a little rusty.
Mine is awful.
Yeah.
So I'm saying yes, it probably isn't. But they did some other pictures as well. And she was, her shirt said boy oh boy on it.
Ooh.
And I was wondering if that was an indication that they are having a boy.
That
But they were
certainly would.
holding pink balloons, so
This little baby in the oven thing is half pink and half blue. So
that is correct, Derek.
I can discern colors, which is good.
Yes.
So yeah, they're teasing us a little bit. I expect a good announcement for, I don't know what the term is.
Gender reveal.
Gender reveal.
That
yeah.
would be correct.
I'm
He
expecting
should dunk
a
a
next level
basketball.
one. Yeah.
But they do have a boy and a girl right now. They have one of each. So
Yep.
I don't think that they're hoping for a boy or hoping for a girl. I'm sure they're just hoping for a healthy, happy baby. But such a cute family.
Yeah.
So very happy for them. And they're in London right now. I saw when he got into the hotel, Amelia was there with him. It's
Yep.
very nice.
Big happy family.
Yes. And the loser of the week.
And transitioning to that, my loser of the week is actually two people, Paul George and Baker Mayfield.
Yikes.
Paul George being the NBA player here. So Baker Mayfield, quarterback for the Oklahoma Sooners, was at a Clippers game, Thunder Clippers game the other
After
night.
losing.
After losing
the
the Rose Bowl,
postseason,
kind of a tough loss. But he goes to a Clippers game like, oh, check out Paul George. He's also plays for the Thunder in Oklahoma. We have the Oklahoma connection, and there he is hanging out with Clippers owner Steve Ballmer. And so they go do a little, Paul George is doing handshakes after the game and everything, and he sees Baker Mayfield and kind of does like a little half handshake, like clearly, as Twitter said, clearly didn't know who this guy was.
Yeah.
I don't know whether
Tough blow to the ego.
Yeah. So Baker Mayfield sitting there like, oh my God, he really doesn't know who I am. And then they had a little Twitter interaction too. Paul George apologizes. My fault. Didn't even recognize you. Still my guy. Then Baker Mayfield, he's kind of obligated. He's like, all good, man. Like, good job. But read between the lines, he's probably a little bit like, really? You don't know who I am?
The punches keep coming for Baker Mayfield.
Tough.
He'll be
few
fine,
stretches.
though. Let's be honest.
He does. I mean, maybe I could see how you can maybe be confused for, he's not like an offensive lineman or something where he's like a huge football player. He's like relatively short.
Yeah, but Johnny Manziel is tiny and everyone recognized him.
Yeah,
Johnny
maybe,
Manziel couldn't walk into a basketball arena 4 feet without getting bamboozled.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Is that from Harry Potter?
Probably.
I think it is.
It sounds like. Yeah, but I think maybe Paul George just isn't as much of a Oklahoma Sooners fan as Baker Mayfield thought.
I would like to go back into Paul George's Twitter timeline and see if he's like, oh, watching the Sooners game, Baker Mayfield, the man.
Yeah, that'd be even tougher.
It would be tough.
But he had a lot of things on his mind.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, do you know what MMO means?
Ooh, MMO?
That's what it said on top of that tweet, and myself and producer Mark couldn't figure it out.
Oh, in the Baker Mayfield tweet?
Yeah. I Urban Dictionary did, and I couldn't figure it out. Making money online was one of the things that popped up.
Huh.
I like
that theory. MMO. It could be something with Oklahoma at the end there.
I guess.
But my main...
If you know what it is.
My main Oklahoman. Maybe Steve Ballmer is from Oklahoma. Probably not, though. I don't think he is.
That was a good try. But if you at home know what that means, what MMO means,
know.
please let us know. You can tweet us at Darren Hartwell or at Cox Courtney. But that will do it for this episode of The Rebound. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure to keep it locked in. Nesson.com will have everything you need to know during the Celtics' end of their trip in London, their game on Thursday night against Philly. And we will see you next week, same time, same place. Nesson.com. We'll be back.
Barefoot, trying to reach my reservoir. Stole my style, need to pay me back. Crazy brainiac, made me turn into an animaniac. Say that you a baller.